How's it going today, guys? My name is JSP, and today I will be talking about a tweet that Adam Schefter has just tweeted out this morning. Okay, before I get into it, not everything that Adam Schefter says is 100% true, okay? So don't take his word for gospel. Now, he is one of the highest praised, he's one of the most popular NFL news people out there. Him and Ian Rappaport are probably the top guys. And I like Ian Rappaport a little bit better, but Adam Schefter did tweet this out, and I do believe it. Again, don't take my word or his word for gospel, but this morning he did tweet out that the Chicago Bears have been approached by multiple teams about trading the number 1 pick in this year's draft. And Chicago is said to be leaning towards trading the pick, per Adam Schefter. So that's the source. I don't know if he says where he got it from, but he probably just has an inside guy from the Bears that's just telling him everything that's going on. If this is true, the Chicago Bears own the top pick in this year's draft, when anywhere from 8 to 12 teams could be looking to make a switch at quarterback. And then he also goes on to say in this article that quarterback needy teams that failed to get Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, or even Lamar Jackson should be looking to become even more competition for that number 1 overall pick. Now, I don't think that teams that need a quarterback that are below the number 10 spot in this year's draft, that Ryan Poles is even going to consider it. He needs top talent. And I'm not saying you can't find top talent past the number 1 pick, but he needs the top guys. He needs top high-level talent, like a Jalen Carter, like a Will Anderson, like a Jackson Smith-Njigba. He needs these guys for Justin Fields, and it looks like this makes me feel a little bit better. It doesn't bring it off the table yet, but he does go on and say in this article that, like what Ryan Poles said earlier this year, I have to be absolutely blown away to draft a quarterback. But he also says, I believe that Bryce Young is probably going to be the first quarterback taken in this year's draft. And I'm not going to lie, Bryce Young, he's good, okay? He's good. I think he's going to be decent in this league. I don't know if he's going to be fantastic. I don't know if he's going to be the next Tom Brady, the next Patrick Mahomes. But Bryce Young does not blow me away. Now, hold on. The NFL Combine has not started yet, okay? It starts technically tomorrow. The NFL Scouting Combine, if you don't know what that is, it's just all these NFL GMs, owners, coaches, whoever is there, scouters, they all go to this combine that just shows their physical strength, their speed, their throwing ability, their motion, just everything. And I'm guessing Ryan Poles is going to be there, so he said he has to be absolutely blown away to take a quarterback. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, I don't care if you don't agree with me, Bryce Young just does not blow me away to the point where I am willing to trade Justin Fields and draft Bryce Young. He does not blow me away to that point, okay? He's a good quarterback. But like I said in my last video, Bryce Young played in Alabama with one of the best coaches of all time. With those receivers, with those running backs, with that offensive line, with that defense. All I'm saying, Bryce Young, yeah, he's a good thrower of the football. But in my opinion, if Bryce Young and Justin Fields were both coming out of college at the same time, I think Justin Fields was a better thrower of the football. I think he was. He was more accurate. He can throw it further. He was a more accurate deep passer. He can run with the ball. I'm not saying Bryce Young is bad. I'm not saying that at all. But Justin Fields, you get him a team, and this is the year to do it. Last year was not the year to do it. Now, I don't blame 100% on last year on Ryan Poles, but at the same time, he went into last year's draft very defense heavy. The first 2 picks, he picked Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon. Those are both secondary picks, both defense. Okay, if he spent those 2 picks on maybe somebody else, offense, maybe Christian Watson or George Pickens or something like that, and you got Justin Fields, another decent weapon, maybe last year would have been a little bit different. But since last year went so terrible, we have the first overall pick. There is no possible way that Ryan Poles can screw up this offseason. We have abilities to go from worst to first if you do this offseason right. And I'm not saying we're going to, but if you do this offseason correctly, you can be the next Eagles. You can be the next Bengals. You can. It happens. We have like $50 million more than the next team below us to spend on anybody, on literally anybody. We have the number 1 overall pick. This does not happen very often, that we have the first overall pick, that we have the most cap space in the league. It doesn't happen very often. So yes, the Bears, according to Adam Schefter, is looking to trade down. Okay? Trade down with the Texans. Get 2 second-round picks. Get a second round this year, second round next year. All right? Trade down with the Colts again. Trade down again to 4. All right? Get a first-round pick next year, first-round pick this year. Maybe a second this year. I don't know. And yes, it's only 2. I'm just spitballing. I don't know exactly how much he's going to get, but it's going to be something like that. And no, everyone's like, "Oh, the Colts aren't going to want to trade up anymore because we already gave the second pick or the first pick to the Texans." Yeah, I know. But if the Colts really like somebody and the Texans, I don't know, pick CJ Stroud over Bryce Young, or the Colts like CJ Stroud over Bryce Young, we can trade the Colts to the second round pick or the second overall pick, and there's going to be a bunch of teams that are probably going to be calling the Bears again for that second pick. So what do the Colts do? They try to outbid everybody else, which is probably going to be pretty hard because everyone's coming from 4 and below, so they're going to have a bigger haul. So if the Colts really want a quarterback, a young quarterback, what do? You give up the moon for them. You move mountains for that quarterback, because I think Jim Irsay is done being mediocre, having old veteran quarterbacks who, yes, they have experience, but they're not as good anymore. So I'm just spitballing, but according to Adam Schefter, not to me, not to your mom, not to anybody, according to Adam Schefter on my phone, this is his article, that the Bears are apparently going to try to trade it away. Now, this makes a total sense. I mean, I've been saying this all offseason so far. The Bears are going to try to trade back. Now, the question is with who, and the question is where and how far they're willing to go back. But we will have to really see until probably draft night. I don't think Ryan Poles is probably going to do it until draft night. He may have like a deal set up already. But we will have to see. We won't know until draft night. So, well, maybe before. It barely ever happens, especially with the first overall pick. But we will have to see. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.